After watching many videos on YouTube by these so-called gurus claiming that they actually know everything about YouTube authentic content and how there are literally hundreds of thousands of channels actually getting demonetized by this YouTube detector, and channels getting demonetized because of inauthentic content, right? And I've actually also watched a few of these so-called gurus video, right, which actually adds no value whatsoever. At the end of the video they're just selling you some program or some course, right? But if you want to get the real truth, what is actually YouTube looking for, and why are YouTube actually demonetizing so many of the channels, and I'll be giving you the honest truth, right? So the very first thing we have to know is pretty much everyone is using AI, right? AI is here, AI is there, AI is everywhere, right? So people are actually using AI to create their script, create their thumbnail, create their actual video and everything, like A to Z, right? So why channels actually getting demonetized is because of what we call patterns, right? When actually channels looks for a video, for example, a popular trend that was actually going around, why it sucks to be such and such, right? So some animals, right? And if you actually see the patterns of that actual thumbnail, everyone is just copying that same patterns, right? So that is the reason YouTube is actually detecting if your thumbnail is actually matching with other people's thumbnail and it's very similar, and you just copying like word for word and stuff like that without changing anything, your channel will eventually get hit with inauthentic content, right? Because of the thumbnail is actually matching, right? Another thing is your script is actually matching, right? Another thing is your title is actually matching. Like this, you can literally tell that the title is made by AI, right? So how can actually avoid this, right? So there's another tool actually called from Claude. It's a humanizer tool, right? So if you actually do your script, and you can just put your script and the actual title on the Claude, I think it's called the humanizer, right? And you can actually download that, and you can input your script and your title, saying make it more a human way rather than AI, right? And it actually detects all the patterns that the AI actually uses to create your script and to actually create your title, right? So it actually removes all that, right? So YouTube actually detects that particular titles and also script are for matching up with this stuff. So that's why YouTube is actually demonetizing content, right? So inauthentic content, because of everything is actually matching with other AI, because there's a lot of people actually using AI, right? And they're just copying, pasting. That's why your content is actually getting matched with some other content. That's why your channel is actually getting hit with inauthentic content, right? So we need to start using Claude, or there's like a lot of different other tools, humanizer tool. So you can also input your thumbnail and the title and script, saying that remove all the AI patterns from there. So that way, once you actually get it back, so that way it's not matching up with the other content that's actually on YouTube, right? Another way YouTube actually detects is you actually cloning someone else's content, right? For example, if you're doing motivational video, I think there's well-known channels like I think he was in the Warren Buffett or Charlie Munger niche. People actually copying, cloning Warren Buffett's voice, right? So if there's like thousands of channels actually doing the same content, eventually those channels will get hit with inauthentic content, right? Because your voiceover is actually matching up with other people's voiceover, right? Even though it's like Warren Buffett, eventually it's gonna get detected by YouTube, and your channel will actually get demonetized, right? Another thing is you not clicking the box of altered content, right? Because you're actually doing your script and you're changing things around. And if, for example, if you're showing, if you're talking about Ferrari and you're showing some other different cars, that is altered content. Okay, so you need to tick that box, click on that box, says your content is altered, right? Because if YouTube actually detects and you're not ticking that box, YouTube will say you are misinforming the actual viewer or audience, right? So make sure you're ticking that box of altered content, right? Always tick that box. Even if you're not sure, tick that box, so that way you don't get hit, right? So to summarize everything, your title is getting messed up, the patterns on your script, your thumbnail, your title, and also you're not ticking that altered content. And make sure you use tools like Claude to remove the patterns, the AI patterns, right? So that way your channel doesn't get hit with inauthentic content, right? Another very important thing you have to do is, for example, a lot of channels actually getting hit with this particular thing is because they're using, maybe making like one hour video, 1.5 hour video, and they have stagnant images, right? They're not changing anything, they're not adding any value, they're not putting animation, they're not putting any sort of effects in the video, they're not adding any captions, you know. So YouTube knows that this content has been mass produced. That's why you're getting hit with inauthentic content, right? So make sure you're adding enough value. Also add a lot of effects. Make sure you're adding captions. Make sure images are actually changing every 3 seconds, 3 to 5 seconds, right? Because there's a lot of channels actually getting hit. There's another popular channel called Boring History. I think they also got demonetized because of this particular issue, right? So to sum it up, I know there's video production cost going over the roof. There's a lot of tools out there actually, you know, promising results, but they're not getting results, and you have to eventually pay a lot more money to use a tool than you actually profiting from your actual channel, right? But what I've actually done in my community, we have actually created a software where you can actually use that software and create unlimited videos, and just by clicking the box, and the videos will be created very easily with all the effects, so you don't get hit with inauthentic content, right? Making it super easy for you to create videos, and it's free. You can create unlimited videos, right? It's just you push button, video gets created, right? There's a lot of different tools out there, VidRush and stuff like that, but they charge a lot more money. Like, for example, you're gonna be paying $40 per video, or like every 3 minutes every minute you're paying like $3, you know. So that's still a lot of money, whereas this tool, when you actually use, it's gonna be free for you, right? Unlimited video for free, right? So if you want to know more about what we're actually doing and how we're actually creating this video and all the things that are actually shared, you can actually bypass all this so you don't get hit with inauthentic content. I'm gonna be leaving a link in the description, so click that and join the community. And if you're not unsure about anything, just put in the comment and I'll be more than happy to reply. So let me know what you thought about this video, and hope to catch you in the next record. God bless you. Bye for now. Bye for now.